Hi humanity, here I am again, Rodeo Suresh Menon from the Rotary Club of Deonar, northeast of Mumbai in India. That's where we are. Like you all know, this is an amazing radio rodeo show, and I'm actually in an extremely august panel. And when we're launching this, it's obviously not August, it's in June. But we're going to have this amazing panel which speaks about the essence and the absolute credibility which this club has got internationally. It's a pleasure and an honor to bring to you the angels of humanity. On my left is Piyush, the eternal rodeo friend who is always there to make sure that podcasts touch human hearts and make sure that the spirit of Rotarianism is absolutely on the rise. Thank you so much, Piyush, for being in, as usual, supporting us every single time.
Yeah, thank you, Suresh, and I'm equally excited to be part of this podcast episode where we have wisdom of maybe around totaling of around 400 to 500 years.
Wow.
And a lot of contribution, a lot of stories of service to humanity in this episode. By the way, Suresh, where is this club located in this world?
Piyush asks that every single time, so I'm going to tell this to Piyush. I wish I had the map dimensions for you to be looking at the degrees of the latitude and the longitude, but it's in a place called Deonar, which is in the city of Mumbai, which is in India. To be precise, it's in the northeast of the city.
Wonderful.
I'll send you the latitude later on.
Thank you so much.
And not to miss the absolutely amazing Chirag Aggarwal, who is the editor, producer behind the camera. I'm looking for the time when Chirag will come up in front of the camera. Soon he would. Thank you, Chirag, for helping us out and making this editing so very specific and to the point, and not to miss Sharad, our amazing and patient cameraman who can take us on every single time. So with that, we get rolling. On my leftist left, he's not a leftist by the way, but I'm calling him leftist left, is Jaisal JC. And look at this, he's a fraud, I'm so sorry. He's a fraud investigator, okay? He's a chartered accountant for almost 40 years. And when it comes to the heart of little kids, there is nobody to beat this authenticity of this man who does fraud investigation by the day, and by the hour, by the second, his heart beats for the hearts of so many kids who go through the open heart surgery as done by the Little Hearts initiative of the Rotary Club of Deonar. In a career graph spanning over 4 decades, this chartered accountant who also holds a doctorate in sports sciences from Germany is a practicing acupuncturist who does 70 patients free for a variety of ailments. An experience in setting up hospital and diagnostic center. This amazing 7-year-old Rotarian is an epitome of multifaceted persona. Somebody who is an alumni of Harvard Business School. He basically has gained strong experience in many verticals within the finance sector. Mr. JC has been the director membership, services and medical services and international service in the Rotary Club of Deonar. Welcome, Mr. JC on the show. Pleasure. I remember last time we were all voice, all audio. It's a pleasure to have the face to the voice now. I look to the moderate left and I see this tall gentleman with intense eyes. He's been a Rotarian, of course, but he's been a Rotractor too. And his name is Chanmukha Vaidyanathan. We call him Shan, the Shan of our club. 8 years of Rotractor, and he's a rodeo of last 15 years. So like a quarter of a century. Looks like almost when he was born to be a Rotarian. Somebody who's an electronics engineer from the alumni of IIM Lucknow. Shan is an absolutely amazing sales and marketing strategy building specialist for over 25 years, especially in the healthcare domain. I mean, there are amazing folklore stories of him being committed to the cause of TB eradication in the rodeo circles, and we'll know more about it as we go along. Thank you, Shan, for being here. For his consulting firm is Morphallaxis. This time I got it right. Morphallaxis Transformation. Thank you, Shan, for joining in here and really adding the power and the credence to our radio rodeo show.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you, Shan. Really appreciate that. Piyush, how are we doing? Good?
Yeah, we're doing really well.
Amazing audience. Are we feeling nervous?
Absolutely. No, not so nervous.
I'm feeling so amazingly overawed that the service to humanity has got such wonderful doyens with us to doing humanity. I mean, you look at Rotary means charity work, meaning getting to the grassroots level, but look at the class and the intensity of what would have be happening at the last mile of really adding value to the child, to the needy, to the beneficiary. Really, really proud of being a Rotarian, right? I have the pin. When would you have one?
Very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are just done with introduction of half the panelists till now.
Right, I would carry it away.
Yeah.
So Piyush, if left was so astonishing and so absolutely incredible, what would happen if I look at the right?
You are right.
You're right?
Yeah.
You're right away. I go to the right. And whom do I see? I see Chartered Accountant, CA, Rotarian Narendra Kalra. Someone who's been in the Rotary for not one, not two, not three, but 3.5 decades. Somebody who's very silent but focused on his work. Somebody who's a founder convener of the Chembur CA Study Circle, president of the Chembur Colony Yuva Mandal, running the Yuvak Mandal. Mr. Kalra corrects me, Yuvak Mandal, the Tadani School for Hearing Impaired Kids, the trustee in the Hemu Kalani College, the Girls Medical, the Mandal's Girls College. Somebody who really encompasses his social work and impact in his absolutely calm, cool and silent demeanor. It's a pleasure and a honor, Kalraji, to have you here on this video podcast called Radio Rodeo. We had listened to your voice earlier when we did this about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Now we have a face to the voice. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And gracing. I really appreciate that, sir. And now, Piyush, can I go to my absolutely, this is what, 45 degree, right?
Yeah, correct.
And I see this smiling gentleman, absolutely calm demeanor, none other than Dr. Shankar Chawla, the eternal Rotarian. For 39 years he's been in practice. He's been a Rotarian for 31, close to 28 years, from 1996. MD in homeopathy, PG in preventive health from Apollo Hospitals, diploma in palliative care. I mean, that itself says it all. Focusing on palliative care, which is the big need of the hour. That's what Dr. Chawla gives his entire knowledge into. He's got his NGO called Spandan Institute. He's been associated for the last 30 years. Chembur Arya Samaj for 20 years. Honorary physician, acupuncturist, and a lifestyle consultant. It's a pleasure and a honor, Dr. Chawla, to have you with us. The entire Rotary Club of Deonar glows because of your smile.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate. I go now on the right. Piyush will come in any point of time to ask Dr. Chawla. 30 years. I mean, do you ever feel both ho gaya? It's been such a long time I'm into Rotary service, of service before self. Is there a time when you say, enough yaar? Does that occur to you?
Thank you, Suresh. This question actually gives me that Rotary is not just kuch ho gaya, it's constantly learning, constantly innovating, and the projects and your avenues change according to your, as you scale up. So, initially you become a director, then you become a chair, and then you are a president, and then secretary, and then you go to the district, you have a different types of roles that you play. Apart from that, you are exposed to the number of other avenues of our life. So, as we know that this is a very diverse club, which has, as we know, CA, our IT people, medical doctors, business, entrepreneurs. So they actually give us something which is like a spice in our life.
Wow. So nicely said. So it's something which is like life itself is transient, right? It goes on and on.
So there is nothing boring.
Yeah.
It keeps making you change and adopt and be flexible. That's how it is.
Really appreciate that. Thank you, Doctor. Really appreciate that. I look at Mr. Kalra and ask him, if we're looking at your years of service in the Rotary, and let's say chartered accountant, Which project do you feel memorable when you moved out from your balance sheet and P&L accounts to handle people and people's lives? Which project do you remember very fondly that you really felt very proud of having made an impact?
Thank you, Suresh. In the year 2000-2001, I was president, where I took up the challenge of conducting medical camps, mainly eye camps in different places. Every month there was at least one eye camp. And during these eye camps, I met several people who were down to earth. And there were so many people who used to come and say thank you to me, saying that their children doesn't have time to take them to hospital. You have come to our door, and we are really grateful and thank you. That is a great appreciation which we received at the time of conducting those camps. And this is not the one-man work. It's with the help of my fellow Rotarians, and there are so many social organizations who are helping us. With this, in that particular year, we conducted more than 650 cataract operations. People were really happy. There were so many elderly people who used to come and bow before us, which was very much touching.
Right. God is
Great.
Really
Yes.
appreciate it. So 2001, it's been 23 years plus, and that memory of that gratitude still echoes in the way Mr. Kalras remembers and reminisces. That's the impact to humanity which can happen. I mean, so much it touches you that, like, obviously you cannot ever think of not being a Rotarian in service. I now go look at, right, Piyush?
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah, so as we continue our journey to explore and understand, what Rodeo Club has been doing till now, I would like to ask Shan to share with us one project that you've done in Rotary, which is very close to your heart, and what has been your experience in that, and what is the kind of impact that it has created.
Sure. Thanks, Piyush. Whenever I look back on a topic like this, the immediate project that comes to my mind was the first project that I had done, not as a Rotarian, but as a Rotractor. This was the polio eradication program that Rotary was funding across the world, and they were organizing a very high degree of collaboration between the government, the health organizations, pharma companies, and we were playing the glue that brought everything together. And the challenges were massive. We had to go to areas that we were not familiar with, slum areas. If my parents knew I was going to those places, they'd probably, have their blood pressure go through the roof. And we had to face a lot of cultural taboos as well. The people over there, the so-called community leaders, would instigate people against us, saying that, look, if you get inoculated, your child gets inoculated, the child will also get impotent.
Oh.
So people came at us with swords.
Yeah.
So never faced that sort of a situation ever before in life.
Came at you with swords?
With swords and other assorted weaponry.
Oh.
And then we had to go back and then again come back after a good level of education and persuasion. And this time again they came to us not with swords but with folded hands, saying that give the medicine to our children first.
Oh.
And then we would tell them that Dariye bhai sahab sabke liye le aaye hain. And these words wouldn't come out of my mouth, where somebody would whisper behind me saying, hey boss, stock khatam ho gaya.
Oh.
So we had to convince them that we'll come back later. So managing a very complicated project with a great deal of frugality, doing things on time, with a smile, engaging the population, talking to them in their language, all of these are skill sets which are life skills which have held me to good stead even today.
Yeah, so what is the kind of impact this project has had?
It has made me what I am.
Oh, no, impact in terms of numbers or...
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. We, as of today, there are hardly 20 cases of polio in the world, somewhere in our neighboring country. India is polio free. It has been polio free for quite some time. And this was a program that the world of Rotary used to demonstrate to the world, saying that, look, if a human being respects another human being as an equal and works together, there is nothing we cannot solve.
Wonderful.
Super. Absolutely.
So Suresh, I think this is an experience of a Rotarian, not only transforming lives, also transforming others in accepting something that is new, right?
Absolutely. And also transforming himself. The impact on oneself is something which also is an eye-opener, right? I mean, it's a
Absolutely.
changed human being, because as a Rotractor he was so young,
Yeah.
and the impact is lifelong.
Right.
Absolutely. Really appreciate. And I go to our leftist, amazing,
Who is on the left, right?
but he always does the right things, right? So I'm going to ask him, I know the answer before even I ask, what is the specific project, Jaisal, that you always pursue to take it longer and deeper? What is that one specific project? Over to you.
Thank you, Team Radio Rodeos, for having me on your show. Without doubt, the project that really touches my heart is Project Touching Little Hearts, wherein we enable pediatric cardiac surgeries on children from marginalized society who would have otherwise been left to die because of their cardiac issues. Till date, Rotary in Mumbai has touched almost 3,000 children, 3,000 hearts, at an investment of almost about 30 odd crores.
Really?
Yes, indeed. That has been the impact of Rotary in touching hearts which were condemned to die. So that is one single project which has really touched my heart.
Sorry to interrupt here. In Mumbai city,
Yes.
3,000 children.
Yes, within Mumbai city and the periphery of Mumbai.
I see.
Yes. And this is a long way to go. There's a very long way to go. It's almost about 1 in 100 children being born with pediatric cardiac defects, congenital heart defects, and most of them don't have access to medical facilities, surgical facilities, which can save their lives because of the cost. Today, Rotary is funding those surgeries and helping souls live.
Got it.
So that is one project which has always been close to me and which I think makes a lot of impact to our society.
Absolutely. While at that, I want to ask you, Jaisal, if you look back, the spirit of contributing to society, when does it really dawn on a human being? Is it specific to every human, or is there a calling that we all get? Kya bhi karna hai, and some of us take the step forward, some of us don't. Is that something happens at a particular stage in life?
Suresh, I believe that the spirit of giving back to society is very much ingrained in our DNA. We have come up with those sanskars over generations that we have to give back to society in whatever form we can give. It is only a question of timing. In some cases, we see grandchildren coming in and participating in our projects. In some cases, they participate in social projects as and when their own responsibilities allow them the freedom to join into social services to make the lives of our communities much better. So it's only a question of timing, but the spirit of giving is ingrained into us from childhood.
Absolutely. I mean, profound words. It's just the right time for us to be so very connected to the fellow humans around us. As
So
Jaisal
true.
says, the calling is always there.
The calling is absolutely embedded into us.
I could do. Thank you so much, Jaisal.
Pleasure.
Looking at Shan, Piyush, you got something to
No, that's
add?
not. No.
So I want to ask about fellowship and fun and bonding. What is that service before self? I thought it's all about serious work, right? Serving the society, serving others. Where does fellowship play a role in the Rotary scheme of things?
The concept of service above self is what applies to me as an individual. When I bond with people like Jaisal or with Kalra sir or with Dr. Chawla, and we who come from different backgrounds with different professional bodies of work that we bring to the table, when we combine our experiences, our talents, our skills, the collaboration that we bring together and the synergies that we are able to bring forth, we are able to achieve miracles. We celebrate that with fellowship.
Got it.
So Rotary is not exactly a party zone. We do have fun. No doubt about that. So we believe that we work hard and we play hard.
Got it. And really add value to the lives of so many through that fun, which gives us
Absolutely.
more power.
Absolutely.
More energizes us. Really appreciate that perspective. So those of you looking at like Piyush always says, there is a generation which are already Rotarians, and there is another generation waiting to be Rotarians, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
for them, these are amazing words which Shan just mentioned, and really are going back to the spirit of service, the spirit of taking the self before the spirit of taking others before self and the spirit of bonding and giving that much esteem to our own selves is a great combination. And I want to ask Kalraji, if you were to give a message to the family of Rotarians, or for the matter Rotractors also, what would a message that you would give to the family of Rotarians?
It's a simple message that Rotary is a platform where you can meet your goals of complying with your social obligations. If you want to do any kind of social work for the society, you need some platform, you need some support around. Rotary gives that platform, and if for an individual, if the family is involved, children are involved, their senior children, adult children can become Rotaractors, they are involved, the entire family feels satisfied that they are doing something for the society.
Tuned and aligned properly.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that is important, that when we take family also in a group for working together, we achieve much more what we can expect.
Fantastic, sir.
Yeah.
Really appreciate. Piyush, go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to ask Dr. Chawla, if you could share with us that one moment or one experience in your life at Rotary, little vivid, if you could share with us, that was a very touching moment for you.
Thank you, Piyush. Many things happen in Rotary, but few things I think it remains for your life.
Right.
So this is way back in 2008. That is the year when my mother passed away. So I don't have relatives in Mumbai and around. So it was the Rotarians who came early in the morning, and they did all the arrangements, And after completing the arrangements, my relatives came and they were surprised. What it is, I mean, they were expecting that they will go and they will, do the needful for the rituals and everything. Everything was done perfectly, So this is something like a family, beyond family, I would say.
Oh, yes.
Because family, they stay somewhere out of Mumbai, and then for them to come. But in time of distress, in time of such things where it happens, where one is really emotionally and otherwise also low, so they are there without telling them, without knowing them that you come for a help. The help was given without even telling them. So this is something I think which will remain, and whether it's a moment of this or whether there is a time of celebration.
Yeah.
So during the time of celebration of 25 years that we celebrate this one wedding anniversary, it was done in our club very secretly, and then you get a surprise. Either you're riding a cycle, or you're sitting on a tractor, or you are sitting on a bullock cart. These are the things which happens, and that makes really very good, and that's how the bonding is. It's through the heart and heart. That's how the Rotarian and rodeos do that, and they do it through the heart, and that's how the bonding is there.
Doctor, I can really relate to it. My brother has been a Rotarian for the last decade, and he has around 110 members in his club. They all are like family. In lockdown, my brother was the president, and he went to each member's home for their birthday with a cake. Of course, the security stopped them, but they would come down. The members would come down, celebrate their birthdays, and they are just one family. So whenever my brother posts on Facebook, he says, when friends become family, that is what Rotary is all about, and that's the kind of bonding that I think even Shan was sharing with us.
Absolutely. So very nice. Which makes me ask this question to Dr. Chawla. A message to humanity who's waiting there to be part of Rotary. I'm not saying become a Rotarian, but who want to get connected to the Rotary movement. If you were to give a message, what would you give as a message to instill that confidence and that action?
I think for community, I think it's an individual responsibility and the commitment that one makes with himself or herself. Because till one doesn't have insights about it, it's useless to go on promoting it. So we have to make humans so that humane aspect is there. So in human, I think the divinity lies in each one of us. The only thing is that we must put them in a right environment, give them that kind of an experience, and the thing starts rolling on its own. So it becomes our duty to get involved them initially and let them experience, let them know, let them feel, let them, make some small projects, or they get involved in the projects. I think that's a first step. That's the first step where we can make it, I think, each individual change. It will be individual to individual rather than the masses, because that's how it has to work, and that's how it is working.
That's how it spreads also. Yes.
So let's see what message Shan has for those who are watching this podcast show. For those who are maybe considering joining Rotary,
Right.
Are on the fence, or maybe some of them are maybe resisting joining Rotary, that there are so many commitments. So Shan, what would your message you have for them?
Within Rotary, we don't compete with our sense of, how we see the Maslow's hierarchy, which always our professions, our families, they come first.
Right.
And at the same time, we are able to manage our time fairly well, wherein, we are able to live up to our commitments to Rotary with the utmost sincerity. So it all comes down to having a very crystal clear, a laser-like focus on what is important to us. And it's not about the past or the future, it's about the present. What is the most important time for me? It is now. What is the most important place for me? Here.
Right.
And who is the most important person? The person in front of me.
Right.
That gets ingrained in you so well. And like Dr. Chawla said, you have so many avenues to express yourself. So the work that we do for the community around us, for other clubs, for various portions of society, these are not random acts of charity. We have a very strategic plan.